No.
Good. Okay, my lady's on it.
Milady.
My lady. This is your favorite. My lady is on it. Oh my God, Badger is moving. I love it. In fact, yeah, that ties in with my lady. There's talking about Knights of the Round Table and shit in their Discord. We'll talk a little bit about that today. I think, fuck, are we even on? Ugh. Restream like redid their whole thing, the UI today, so it threw me off a bit, but I think we're good. All right, let's kick it.
If you're sitting here watching this stream today, you cannot underestimate how ahead of the curve you are right now.
Bitcoin looks tired. Altcoins look hungry.
I'm just not quite sure that Bitcoin has any more sauce.
I still think this thing is really worth a lot more than it is.
This stuff's spooky, man. These Chaos PRZs are intense.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Solana is highly performant and has the team with the experience to support it.
$4,800 Ethereum. That's a big, big move here.
Whatever you do, always play from a position of strength. Welcome back, everybody, to DeltaFi here on Hxro Labs. We've got myself, Rob Levy, straight out of the office. Where are you right now? You at a hacker house or something?
I am.
What are you, some sort of hacker?
We got a hacker house event going on in Chicago. Solana, Pith Network, Hxro Network, Serum. It is making me so wildly bullish. So wildly bullish, I can't even contain. But obviously, the market's been a little bit of a downer lately. But can't let it get us down. We're literally following the Nasdaq right now. I feel like we're trading the Nasdaq, unfortunately. But
yeah, that's what I keep hearing. I don't watch the Nasdaq, but apparently, what we're getting is what they're getting. I pulled it up a little bit, but. And I watched the S&P mini futures just as sort of like the global or whatever Western market index, and it closed on a shitty candle.
Yeah, it did. It closed on a shitty candle. I think Joe Biden was going to be speaking like kind of right near the close. So usually people get nervous about that and de-risk before something like that. I don't know what the heck he's going to be talking about.
There's a bull div. We'll take a bull div though, any time of day.
Yeah, let me share something with you to your Telegram, because this is kind of what we're facing here. We're facing elevated correlation with the Nasdaq and with equity markets in the U.S. and bottom line is, it's not going to last forever, but right now you can see systematically algorithms are trading Bitcoin, which then crypto kind of is following Bitcoin.
Yellow is Bitcoin.
Almost tick for tick.
NASDAQ is the candles, just for anyone watching, if you can't read that closely.
So, for a while there, Bitcoin was underperforming, so it was going down more than the NASDAQ, but still kind of tick for tick. Then we had that little time where Bitcoin kind of outperformed a little, and now it's really kind of mirroring it, right? It's like pretty clearly overlaid there. So
yeah, that's kind of boring. It just sucks when our narrative is this feeling that we're doing something new and different, and then you get sucked into just basically, but that's also markets, right? Right now, and I was thinking about this today, 2017 peak, crazy bull, blow off top, blah, blah, blah. And so it was natural when you have these 4-year cycles and people say, well, it's going to go up because it goes up. It's just what it does. And then now it's like January of the bear market, according to the cycle that has ever been. And so it's like, well, we don't have a catalyst to push it higher. If anything, we can make money going down. We can, hedge our risk. And right now, in the absence of a new catalyst or something to push us out of that kind of narrative, we're just going to have to find some reason to go up and down, and that's going to just tie to the NASDAQ. And so it's almost like markets just waiting for some new reason to be going higher, going lower, whatever. And that can be uncomfortable. I personally am very uncomfortable right now in the market, not in a sense that I'm out of position. I'm certainly longer than I am shorter, so it's uncomfortable, but it's uncomfortable just because I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. I don't have a clear sense. There is no clear trend other than down, and I'm not short, right? I have a cash position that's going to be good enough, but it never feels good, even when, even if you take 80% out and then you watch your other 20% turn to dust, it never feels good. So yeah, there is a sense of market psychology right now where it's just that angst. Maybe it is the anxiety before another move down. Who knows? It's really hard to call right now. I know I'm in an area where I said I would DCA Bitcoin. Yeah. So I've been doing that kind of through actually GLP, which is GMX's, back end, so to speak. And that's all I've been doing really. And shifting some money into a coin that I want to talk about today. Actually, they just put out an interesting thing, but anyways, not to cut you off your NASDAQ stuff. Let's start with the macro. It's nice to zoom in slowly.
Yeah. I fucking hate I'm with you. I hate feeling like we're trading the NASDAQ.
Yeah, it's boring.
But it's just good to know what kind of, period of market activity you're looking at here. And it seems that there's this, increased amount of institutional participation. And while institutional participation, everyone thinks could just mean, institutions are buying. There's all this money out there just buying. That's not the case. Institutional participation means that these big liquidity providers and trading firms that are now allocating capital to this space, they're using all their systems to try to predict price action. And if their event-driven model is saying that Bitcoin should trade like the NASDAQ right now, that's how it's going to trade. And until
they have new information, right? And I think it's clear now for 2 weeks, everyone's kind of like, oh yeah, NASDAQ, that's what we're doing. You can see here, we are filling in a big gap. So this is almost where you expect price to trade. And I've had this written on here for, some amount of time. And my thought was, we got to get in here. We've got to fill in this gap. Look, the reason I wrote this larger shape here, this parabola, is because that is what a healthy volume profile looks like, where price has filled this in, and you kind of end up with the most price traded around this middle area. Mm-hmm. And that is where you would say, okay, this range is healthy. Price has fully explored it and it's ready to move on. And it's this weird thing. It's almost like price has a mind of its own. It's like a physics, it's a healthy volume profile if that's the case. Right now, what we have is a triple distribution. Lots of volume traded here, lots here, a little bit of indecision in the middle here, a little bit of undiscovered price action. And so we're filling that in. And I think, for what it's worth, and I'm not long right now, although I was lining up a long today, and maybe I'll wish I did because it's at a really sweet little level here as far as risking to 41.2. But for now, I didn't take it because I want to focus on this today. I did the podcast earlier. I got this. I'm like, I don't want to be day trading. But look, we're coming into an area where, okay, yeah, we don't want to go down there. We might. But if we do, that's an invalidation of any kind of long I do here. We're under this downtrend line. It's not a great place to long if you like trend trading. But I like a long here. I think, filling in this zone, getting back up into here, coming up, maybe even retesting the breakdown levels, at least sweeping these highs. That's how I feel is going to play out, even though I feel like it's gross and I just want to sell everything. And that's how the market tends to make you feel at the worst possible time. My trading instincts tell me that a long here will be well rewarded on average. And that's the key to risk management, right? I don't know if this one will work out, but this type of setup on average, I want to take because I think I can get 3 to 1 most of the time, probably a little more than that. So I'm leaning long this week, which I know will be refreshing for you because I've been playing the bear lately. How are you positioned in the market right now?
To be honest with you,
I mean long, but where are you long this week? Where are you long this week?
I know. I've got long-term positions. I'm the guy holding the diamonds, the bell. I didn't hear no bell.
I didn't hear no bell.
It's like when we've got such great events going on in Hxro Network, and we had a boot camp last week where Solana boot camp where they're teaching basically the guys that we are in an office with are teaching developers like the ins and outs of programming on Solana. And we've got a lot of developers who are in town with us and network participants who are here. So the past couple weeks is mainly less focused on the market itself and really more focused on I love that image.
It's my favorite thing. Sorry. Continue.
Such a good, yeah. More focused on building. We're a little ways away from getting our derivatives alpha onto mainnet. We've got staking that's looking good on DevNet and going through the motions there. So we've got a lot of exciting stuff going on in Hxro Network. And when things get so busy there, it's not not as active on the trading front. But I tend to agree with you. I think it's really negative vibes out there right now. Really negative. And even like, a lot of there's a lot of kind of more vocal like shit posters who are stepping it up and really giving a bearish vibe out there. I know we all follow like this guy Pentoshi, who's been a really good trader.
I retweeted him the other day. He nailed my sentiment, which was like, chill the fuck out. I'll pull that up in a sec, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean he's been super kind of bearish and down and he's got 500,000 followers and some other big people. So yeah, people are really down in the dumps. The fear meter is kicking in. That must be at like what, 10 to 15 right now, the fear and greed meter. I know you love
it's
that.
Probably it's got to be in the 20s. It's not that nasty. See, yeah, 24. Like it only pukes to like below 20 when it's like in a nuke. Right now it's just kind of crabbing after a nuke. So yeah, it'll recover a bit. But yeah, it's in the dumps. Extreme fear for a month now.
Yeah, and when I look, I'm looking at my Twitter feed and it's not a good vibe. Like I'm almost looking at Twitter less because it's pretty negative.
I've heard that. Yeah, I don't get caught up in the emotion of it too much. I try not to, but like I keep hearing people saying like, "Oh, Twitter's a dump right now." I'm like, "Really?" I'll be honest, I find Twitter stupid. Like I'm addicted to it. I look at it all the time. I like to tweet once in a while. I'm not too active, but like it's stupid. It's not where you go to be smart. It's just for fun, I think.
So Foo Bear just wrote something that actually got retracted in the chat about, if the Fed hikes 5 times this year. Well, let's think about it. The market is a forward-looking market. So Right now, if we're saying that what's priced in currently in the bond market and in global rates is that the Fed is going to hike 4 to 5 times, is this market pricing in 4 to 5 hikes right now? Like, equities and Bitcoin, so like that's where the rubber meets the road.
What actually happens is less important than how reality meets expectations, right?
Yep, exactly. So let's just say some of the bond market stuff does work for the Fed. Like a lot of what the Fed does is they talk and they talk the market into certain expectations, and they try to get the market to do things. So if they get really hawkish, and then let's say the bond market sells off and rates go up, it might mean that they don't have to raise as much or as fast because the market's already doing the work for them. So there's a lot of intricacies here that are at play. So you don't want to be getting too bearish on a move where, let's say, the market's already pricing in 4 to 5 hikes, right? And contracting the balance sheet, right? Is that priced in, or,
and that's kind of status quo in crypto too. And I remember this lesson, I wasn't around for this. I think it was 2013, 2014, and China was going to ban Bitcoin. And on the date, so it trended down into that event, and then it was a sell the rumor, buy the news, which is kind of the opposite of what you see with mainnet launches and stuff, is buy the rumor, sell the news. And what actually ended up happening is the date that they had pegged was the reversal. That was the lows. And so people that are like, hey, now that they've banned it, it's going to go down. It's like, bro, it's been going down for a year because of that news. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as that went live, it triggered the reversal. So I guess what you're saying is, if we're pricing in 4 to 5 rate hikes right now, okay, so as the rate hikes come in, sure, but then the third, fourth rate hike, maybe we're down here, whatever, that's the reversal. It's not necessarily the trigger. It's like, oh, now that we've done the rate hikes, let's go short. It's already kind of getting priced in. Or
I mean, was this little sell-off because now 4 or 5 are priced in?
Like it's done, yeah. Like, well, we are at support. Let's. I mean, this is the worst place on a chart to ever sell. And it doesn't mean that if you sell here, you're always underwater. Maybe in a year it's down. It's like, oh, I did it. But selling at support is where the market has this uncanny way to trick us. And I speak from experience. I'm not telling you what to do, but it tricks you into thinking that at support, it's a good idea to sell because it's going to go lower eventually. Or at resistance, it's a good place to buy because it's going to go higher eventually. And it's just how you get chopped up. It's how you get fucked up. Because if I short here, I'm not really invalidated until this. So I'm getting squeezed and I'm losing all this money and I can't close my short till there. And that's just speaking metaphorically to the whole market. So one thing that I'm getting better at now, if nothing else, is to just never do that.
Yep.
Because it feels gross right now. Don't get me wrong. This feels nasty. I look at my portfolio and I think, why am I not selling things? Why do I have this long exposure? Why am I holding anything right now? Because we are headed for a 2-year bear market and the rate hikes are coming. Look, maybe we are, but I'm not fucking selling support ever again in my life.
You know what? I was talking to some traditional, big time traders. We got some of the best market making and liquidity providing firms on earth here for this Hacker House week. Some in town, some visiting from out of town. I mean, some of the best, brightest. It's been such great chats we've had. But a couple of us were talking earlier about gold today. Gold has been an absolute turd, right? It has not participated in this inflationary markup in prices that commodities saw. Pretty much every commodity was up big except for gold, right? Bitcoin has outperformed gold like crazy, and that's partly why Peter Schiff needs to go to the loony bin. But today, gold was up $25, and it was a big daily move for gold. And that doesn't make me bearish Bitcoin, right? When I want to see gold go higher. Bitcoin is the next, in my opinion, one of its values is I believe this next generation, digital gold, store of value, hard asset.
Gold looks good.
Dude, it looks really fucking good.
It looks good.
I know.
I hate gold, but man, it looks good.
I know. But that's
Gold's
the
boring.
thing. It's like if you're a layer one, you kind of want Ethereum to be doing good because it's like, layer ones are doing good, but gold looks great today. It was up like $25. Bottom line is that, gold up $25 today. I'm not, as much as I maybe would want to lighten, if you get fearful at support and you want to lighten up, like that wasn't a signal that made me feel bad. That makes me feel pretty good because I personally don't see a market like it's not the highest probability to where gold will go on a tear and Bitcoin will dump. I don't see a rotation from Bitcoin to gold. I think the rotation still will be more money that would potentially go to gold will go to both gold and Bitcoin. So I'm not.
Gold is like the on-ramp to Bitcoin at this point, as far as I'm concerned. Right? If you can convert someone into Peter Schiff's way of seeing the world, which is like hyperinflation, it's going to run away. I mean, Peter Schiff is the biggest advocate for the narrative of Bitcoin. He just is stupid and thinks gold is the way to express that narrative. And I don't usually just say that shit about somebody, but like he's just bold-faced wrong. So, but if he in that narrative can grow, it's only good for Bitcoin, because as soon as you show up to that party, you look over and you just see gold sitting in the corner like dusty and old and boring, and you see Bitcoin like flashy with all the fucking ladies, and you're just like, I'm going to go party over there. Because if that's the lifeboat that I want to get into, what are you going to choose? The one with the hole in it, just like half full of water, sinking? Or are you just going to like get in that nice speedboat just ripping away from the Titanic? Like, it's an easy choice. So I'm all for a gold rally here, and this chart looks hot.
As much as I dislike Peter Schiff's shit posting and everything about what he does, I think partly it could be some psyops because his son Spencer is often responding to him. And I think they got a little like...
That's a thing, yeah. Like the way that he's using his kid, I think, just showed up and was like, hey, Dad, what if I become, like your antithesis? That'll be really good content. It's great content. But Peter Schiff... he buries himself. He can't be, he's not dumb, right? Because if anything, he recognizes that people who own Bitcoin, they like his thesis. Maybe they're gold bugs. Like, he's clearly enjoying the spotlight that he gets from Bitcoin-ness, whether it's being the hater. Like, I don't think he would stand out at all if he was talking about how much he likes Bitcoin.
Maybe it's because we're talking about him. Yeah, it's attention that he hasn't gotten lately because
he's a gold bug.
Well, his thesis is correct. It's been bang on, but gold has been dog shit, like for whatever reason. And now
it's heavy, man. It's too heavy. Ain't nobody got no time for that.
Yeah, well, if you want heavy, go buy a tungsten cube.
Yeah, well, I'll take one of those, but not for the store of value. I kind of want one just to.
I got a little 2-incher.
Oh yeah, I saw the FTX post. They just pulled out like a monster one. It's about measurement now. Okay, nice.
I know, but bottom line is keep an eye on gold and zoom in a little bit. Like today's candle was interesting to me.
Hold on, before we do that, let's grab this whole consolidation, because that's where the chaos comes in, and that's where the next leg is going. If I'm a trader, let's go see where chaos brings the gold. Ooh, baby, $5,000 gold, 10 years out, probably at this rate. Why not? Money's going to be worthless.
It's in dollars. No, money's not going to be worthless, but
not worthless. But you know what I mean. Like it's going to be worth less.
It will. The supply is.
Like who knows? Who knows? But that's what the chaos says. If we break out of this whole friggin' range, that's what chaos says. Doesn't mean it'll go there. It just means if it does, I'm selling. Let's go zoom in. I'm with you.
If gold is 5,000, I think Bitcoin is 500,000. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly it, right? It's like, am I going to express that for gold? No, but if gold pulls back here and I can get like, can't you long this on FTX like in the easy way?
Yeah.
I try to go to my like broker and stock account and I try to do anything long or margin. It's all terribly awful. Like I hate it. It's so dusty and hard to understand. So I'd love to go on FTX and just maybe long gold at like, I don't know, 1830, 1828.
Yeah.
Maybe, why not? Say that I made some money on gold. Bing, 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 bing. Something like that.
It was something that stood out today. It's a couple other things. And, I think there's a coin that we've talked about for a while because, we are fanboys of Sam Bankman-Fried. We've been fanboys before he was.
I know where you're going with this.
Adonis that he has become, and this, he's like, he is SBF, but FTT
the homie
starting to shows some relative strength.
Even just in this hourly, yeah. I was worried that it was going to come up, it did like a little M top on the hourly and then broke down. I was worried that this is like, short reload zone kind of stuff, and then we're going to come down a bit, but I'm enjoying this one. I'm enjoying this a lot. As you know, I bought 43. It's in the short reload zone, so it's not a buy, short time frame, but like, yeah, you know me, I bought 43 at resistance. So I've been underwater for a bit, but not long. I said that though. I'm like, fuck it, I'm holding. I'm not. Look, this is why. Look at this. Because of this, right? You have the volume just dying. So this whole downtrend, there's just less and less for sale, less and less energy going into each down push. And then you have big bullish divergences across the board on this latest down push. It's not a sell time. This is only a buy or hold time, period. And we're moving up, but we're coming into this, trend line. Anyways, you go ahead. What do you got? What do you think is pushing it?
I think the realization, the announcement of the $2 billion venture fund that FTX has put together, I think that was kind of like a big thing. And, there were rumblings that they had also raised extra money for another round for FTX. Like, they've got money. I think that I personally think it's just it's been under a lot of pressure. We've talked about the thesis that Sam used FTT to buy a lot of things, and people who collected FTT, they need to sell it into currency that to pay their bills if they sold something. So I get it. It's not a surprise, but I think it is. We're going to see that FTT is going to be
shining star,
a winner. Yeah,
it's a winner. I mean, the exchange is winning. Period. Yeah. I mean, they just announced the other day. I'll find the article. I won't. I'm just going to explain it. They announced the other day that they're building 1,000-person kind of like employee complex, which reminds me of a weird movie called The Circle, or just Circle. Mm-hmm. And it's like this kind of thing about like a company like Facebook, in San Francisco or Silicon Valley, whatever. And they just have this like massive complex that is where all their employees live and work. And it's just this like crazy, like Adderall fueled environment. Anyways, they're building that. They're building The Circle in Bahamas. And it's going to take 2 to 3 years. I mean, they're not in this short term. They've just bought friggin' Miami Heat Arena last year. They've got sponsors from the MLB. They've signed fucking Tom Brady. Okay. And I don't have to tell you guys who he is. Even if you don't like football, Tom Brady. And I was not a Pats fan. I'm not a fan of Tom Brady until now. Now I'm a fan of him because he's not on the Pats anymore. And I feel like we can be friends. So I'm really bullish on just what they're doing. And if this token price can tie to that at all, the nice thing is like when you break out of these downtrends, you get a lot of energy. Mm-hmm. And we see that things, chaos, PRZ, we can do a tiny one right here. Like, if we break out of here, okay, we're going to 79.80. But I'm thinking about like new highs kind of stuff. What did new highs look like? That's my time frame. I've got a chunk of these. I've got them locked. And I've never once worried about them. I mean, through here, yes, and I cut them and then I bought them back, but I'm not like, oh no, are they going to be around in 5 years? They're going to be around. It's just a matter of how much their price will be. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm betting up. I'm betting up with you, and you're a big part of that. I think in this way I'm expressing that like strong, whatever you call it, diamond-handed thesis, because I'm usually like in and out, up and down like a horse drawers.
I mean, I also know the guys. I know some of the guys personally. I know Hxro Trade has partnered with FTX on our TIX Wix options, and I know how those guys how hard they work. I know the type of talent they have running the operation. I know the guys running FTX US here in Chicago, just top-notch guys who just work around the clock, and they're winners. So that's part of it, like you get to know the people behind the ticker, and it gives you a little more reason to have those diamond hands.
Totally. So. It can be also bad. Like I was in Lisbon meeting with Danny and the team at ICE, the whole ICE team. I literally sat down to dinner with them the day. Let me see. I think I have it right here. The day this happened.
So the top
right here. Oh yeah. Like literally, what was it? November 6th, I arrive in Lisbon for the fucking Solana conference, and it's at my target. I've been sitting here. I'm like, ooh, I'm going to load up, and then, oh, this is going to be my target. I'm not thinking about selling. I'm hanging out with the sharpest fucking guys I know, and we're chatting about the future of PLPs and leveraged positions on it's like, it's amazing. The last thing I'm thinking is like, hey, I better rush back to my hotel and dump it. It can go both ways. But in the case of like, so yeah, you're hanging out with Sam Bankman-Fried, FTT, FTX, and really hanging out with them. Like I still hold that whole position. I didn't sell because by the time I got home, it was here. I was like, I'll wait for a bounce just to be a trader, and there was no trade. We're back in my zone. Like I'm not, I'm actually thinking about adding this week, but that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about this trend line. And somebody in the chat, Boomer, I had it drawn here because I like to draw them off of candle bodies as much as I can. I often draw them both ways and just decide which one I like that day. But some people say, oh, it's one or the other and you have to stick to it. Fuck off. Like I'll do what I want. But I like candle bodies typically. But he said, look, try drawing it from the wicks because it does paint a different picture, and it paints a very clean picture. Like whoever bought here was buying it because this trend line, because of this EMA. On the daily, we've got the first time that your EMAs crossed. I know you and Dan love these. These are kind of the TradFi EMAs for anyone curious. That's the 12 and 26. They're a little faster moving. You get a better signal than the 50 and the 200 MAs. You get more signals, which means sometimes like this, you get a little bit more noise. I'm a bull, I'm a bear, I'm a bull. I don't know. But since November 12th, we've been bearish. And as of 3-4 days ago, we've been bullish. So yeah, I think we're starting into a new bull trend here on FTT. And I think that that's probably going to carry us into a nice little midterm swing right up into the 65, 70, 75 region. This is kind of how these things work for me. This is the way I do them. So however this looks, maybe we get up there, sweep the highs, come down, I don't know. And then, but up in here, trust me, guys, Twitter's going to be a lot different. All of those social media outlets are going to be, oh, FTT, the mania will be in there. And that's when a trade from here for me would be a closing back up here. But I'm invested right now. I'm not really trading this. I might try to do like a leverage long if this confirms bull, but
it's, the one thing to remember here is that if Bitcoin nukes, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for FTT to really fucking keep performing. It doesn't mean, like, the bottom line is during bear markets, even the nastiest of bear markets, there are tokens that will perform, that can still go higher and gain value. It really depends on, on an individual basis. Like there are some tokens that are doing swimmingly right now, even though, you look, everyone would say that it's fucking bear market dog shit. There's stuff that's performing. So if you're in the right stuff, you can catch, lightning in a bottle. Obviously during a bear market, it's hard. It's hard for.
I mean, look at GMX. Like, tell somebody who's been long on GMX, which I have since they launched, not bigly. So I'm not even. It's like a dust bag almost. I don't know, a couple ETH back last year, but like. Yeah, look at this thing. It's about to make new highs. It's in price discovery. Volume's rising. The exchange is growing phenomenally fast. GLP, which is the backing of their perps, the LP you can provide is paying something like 140% yield right now just to sit long Bitcoin, ETH, and AVAX. It's fucking outstanding. It's my favorite yield play right now, and it's the price happens to be mooning too. So yeah, it's not a bear market across the board, but frankly, I only have a bull setup here on Bitcoin. I thought we're sliding in here. This is bullish divergence in the 4 hour right here. There's a little bit of bullish, or sorry, where am I at? In your honor, actually, because I don't know, a couple of weeks ago we came on here and you cracked a White Claw, and I was like, you know what? Today I'm cracking a beer. So I cracked a beer today. It's hidden by my green screen, but it's one of these. What is it called? Ransack the Universe. It's a really good IPA. It's like 6%. Anyways, so if I'm off, there you go. But look, coming in hot, bounce up, down into that reload zone. 4 hour bull div this morning is what I woke up to. I don't know if it's as visible here, but yeah, the RSI didn't make quite the low. Okay, so, and then you get a nice sharp candle. Get that bounce up. Get another little reload zone. I know it's like really fractally and frustrating. This isn't usually the chart that I would show the audience here. Say, don't mind the chart. It's just my personal shit, but that's what I'll do. And then I'll zoom in here, and this is where I want to enter. Stop loss down here. Get nice and tight so I can take some size. And that's where I'm at right now. That's for better or worse. We have rising sell volume. I don't know. Ultimately, there's better setups out there, but I just thought it was important to point out that I don't have any shorts right now. I don't have any short setups. There's nothing in the market right now. I think there's edge for me to get short on. But there is some long setups. And so, one that I want to talk about today, let's pull it up. Let's see if I can grab this here. Just announced more cryptic shit. And I'm all for it. I'm a big fan of this project. Not to be super fucking vague, but let's just pull it up here. Okay. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Badger DAO. It's kind of an OG DeFi project. They've started up this thing called Citadel. It's like they've got the Discord. It's on Twitter. You can see the head of Spadaboom or Boom sitting here in the Citadel Discord, and they're hinting at these things, right? They're playing these little teasers. So I think there's something there. I don't know what it is. I'm not 100% clear on what they're cooking up, but I've been following it. And obviously then as a trader and a TA guy, I'm looking at the chart. And what I noticed on the chart, aside from the fact it was at the 88.6, so I started just buying. I was like, oh, Citadel, maybe it's going to be a thing. Well, we'll see what it is. But I like the 88.6 and the idea of a catalyst coming. So I started picking some up. And then what I noticed is this volume. All right, so you look on the daily here, the volume is creeping up. That's not nothing. This is some nice buy volume off the 88.6. And I just think midterm swing. My goal, and I've told you guys this a couple weeks in a row now, my goal is to get positioned to not have to trade very actively, at least on chain this year. I'd like to really just ease my tax burden next year. Not the amount of tax I pay, but I'd love to pay a ton of fucking tax next year. That means I had a good year. What I'm saying is like the amount of work to do my accounting. I don't want to have 80,000 lines on my CSV file next year, which is what I had this year. It's disgusting. So by the end of this month, I'd like to be in positions of things that I am confident holding for a period of 3 to 6 months. And so seeing this at the 88.6, you guys know I get fired up about that level. And then seeing Spada over there in, where did I put it? I don't know. I think I left it. But, he's hinting at sort of what they're cooking up over there. Bitcoin yield, some of the best Bitcoin yield you can get. I think Bitcoin is sitting at the dominance low. I tweeted out this today. I actually do think Bitcoin dominance could come roaring back here because look at ETH BTC. Just shit the bed. Lost a key level going down. I'm going to break a few hearts here, but let's go look at AVAX BTC. And I am long AVAX right now. Also just lost a key level. And I'm ranting now. I'm getting into my thesis for the day, but look at this. There's no buyers. Now they could show up. One big fat buy volume candle, little move up. Okay, my thesis is out of whack. But versus Bitcoin, what does this chart look like it has to do? What does it look like it's been doing? What does it look like is the next trend? I think it's going to come down. I think it's going to come down a lot. I think ETH BTC just broke down. I think Solana BTC looks like shit. I think there's just M's. There's M's all over the blue chip versus Bitcoin charts. And people say, no, Bitcoin dominance can never go up again. Well, okay, cool story, bro, because it went down for an entire year, 2017, and then went up for 2 years through what was this part of the cycle, this bear market of the 4-year cycle, this 2018, 2019. We're in the 2022, 23. Does it mean we have to have a big dirty bear? No. But do I think that just because of the last year it went straight down, does it have to never come up? No. So I think Bitcoin dominance could go for a run. And if you're on chain and if you're looking at DeFi, Badger is your Bitcoin proxy. And it's fucking moving right now. And it's moving on volume. In fact, it's up $1 since I started the stream and I was going to talk about it. So it's really moving. So that's my pick for Q1, Q2. I really like what Badger's doing. In general, just offering the Bitcoin yields they do, and the fact that they're now teasing at this potential. Let's see. We'll stick it on here again. You know, I'm not going to read the whole thing out. It's very cryptic and weird, but they're making a citadel for Bitcoin, and they're already like hoarding, you know, big pools of Bitcoin that's capturing the best yield you can get on Bitcoin. So if we go into a Bitcoin friendly environment, up or down versus USD, doesn't matter. I think versus DeFi, because look, the other thing I noticed too, I thought, yeah, Badger, it's an OG, it's whatever. I noticed today, it's a pretty low cap relatively. It's 21 million, just like Bitcoin. You know, it's not a secret like they are a Bitcoin savvy thing. Now it's up 18% today. Wow. It's not a great level, but it's only 163 million market cap, fully diluted, 344. So yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of this chart, and I'm a fan of them hinting and, you know, building up this kind of thing. It's kind of fun. It's cool. I'm in the Discord. So yeah, give me some dips. I'm buying them all.
Yeah. No, I mean, you've been good at picking them. You've been
the low
good.
ones. I like my low fruits. So, we'll see.
Yeah, you know what I like to do, and I talk about this a lot, like on days like today, tons of shit's red, right? Tons of shit in my alt USD watch list on TradingView, you know, that I look at all day is red. And I like looking at, well, what's green? We already talked about one that was FTT, but another one that we've talked about, we touched on last week was Kyber Network. I don't think we have to go into that again. We looked at that odd, aggressive buyer in the spot market, but another one that's actually caught a little bit today is THETA.
THETA. And I see it on my little thing here. Yeah.
It's been dog shit of late, but
it's the highest buy volume it's had.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Since friggin' August 2020. Look at that. Wow.
What is that? Yeah.
Like there's none. So, like even during this massive rally, it didn't have this buy volume. Interesting.
Yes. So like what is that telling me? I don't know. I mean, bottom line is that's a fucking monster descent, you know, what is that, a descending wedge or falling wedge?
Yeah, and it's right in the reload zone. I'll tell you right now, I can smell it. Oh yeah, right on the 786.
Yeah. Listen, I don't know what the hell they're doing. I don't know if anything good is coming, any news came out, but the volume that's come in and it's kind of whoever is buying it, they're doing it at a time when, like, you know, buying stuff out there like this is not happening across the board. So, and I say buying, like the thing's what, $4.40. Like it hasn't really done shit. It's up 17 cents today when things are down, but that's still 4%. And
well, it's a subtle thing, right? It's like you said, if everything's going down, even a little bit up is like, oh, what's going on over there? It gives you something to look at. Then you look, you say, oh, it's got the highest volume it's had since a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, in a sea of red, where you better have a good fucking reason if someone's buying you. This is not a day to go buy. You should not feel bullish today. And if you are, you're, you know, a little couple bids here and there, but to pump it up with that kind of volume, You're absolutely right, I think, and I love that about you. You watch the actual ticks, and volume is the most important indicator on my list. So, yeah, that's something to look at. Let's zoom into it. I think it might have just confirmed, or it is confirming a sort of bullish structure today on the daily, which is nice to see. A little low, a little higher low, a little break the midpoint. So if we close bullish on volume, the nice thing is I don't have to rush in. I never do. Give me that push up, however high it goes. And it's, you know, whatever, maybe we get a couple nice days and then it's like, ooh, no, next week. And then this is always where I'm looking to buy. So yeah, nice signal. I'm going to put that on my pink list because that's where I'm kind of watching stuff right now. Nice.
Yeah. There's another one that's green on my list here. PERP protocol. Yeah. And I know that there's a lot of people who are believers in this. I know the CMS team is a big supporter of PERP protocol, and they've been extremely successful.
786. Look at this though, right? All the ideas we're looking at right now, it's a gross feeling market, but it always is in the reload zone. It always is. That's why you go down here.
Yep.
I love this shit. I love when we're on the show and we're like, hey, we're looking at all these cool ideas. Oh, and look, I can buy them. Because for like a year or two now, it's just been this frothy thing where it's like, oh, like everything's just higher highs. Can't buy that shit. There's no value. So this is interesting. What do you know about PERP?
Yeah. I think they, because I did look, I was like, okay. And I own some PERP just because really the CMS team was shilling it a lot and they're behind it. I think they released like a V2 maybe of you know, their protocol and you know, there's another guy I follow on Twitter who's like, he's even more like vocally kind of shilling it, saying like, you know, a lot of tweets of, you know, you don't even know what's coming type of stuff, or like this thing's gonna
like I have insider information.
I don't know, just you know, like shit like that.
High conviction tweets.
From bigger names that you have to listen to them. I think you'd be dumb not to. It doesn't mean you go out and buy it, but
pay attention.
Yeah, pay attention. Yeah. So I did pick some up a while ago.
What's one more name on your radar, and then I'm gonna run away for about 70 seconds.
Yeah, no, I'm literally like right now, and this is what I'm doing, and I don't know how many of you keep like kind of a bigger watch list. Anytime that a coin looks interesting, or you start to look at it, or you hear about it, I add it to my alt USD watch list on TradingView. So literally right now, and I do this on a lot of days, even green days, look for what's red. You know, like just try to just feel what the flow is like. You know, looking for stuff that is standing out, and whether it's
I'll be right
green
back.
on a big red day or red on a big green day. But you know, Luna is showing some strength today. It's kind of holding together a bit better than some of these other coins that have done extremely well of late. So that's one that it's actually green on my watch list here that I'm looking at. You know, that's kind of it for my watch list today. You know, there's one that we've been following for a long time before it even changed symbols. Now it's called Secret Network, but you know, before we used to trade it on Binance, and it was Enigma, and that thing has been performing extremely well, and they actually announced you know, a pretty sizable ecosystem fund. So that's, you know, I think that's kind of what's been pushing this thing higher. But and I know you talked about it last week. Secret, it's actually mooned since last week, since the show. Where was it last week?
Sorry guys, I was like, we can end it right now, or give me 30 seconds.
Yeah, where was Secret last week when you mentioned it? Because that thing caught a serious bid.
Dude, it was about right down here 7 days ago. So on the 12th, it was just moving out of this consolidation. And I said, and it's not like I called it, but it's the standard, it's the shit, guys. You came down, you saw the reload zone, it's moving back up, it's consolidating. It's not going to stop there. It's going to stop at the next major resistance, which, whether you draw it on the chart or not, is the reload zone. It's this fib. It's this magical zone where price just likes to get action. And it's back up there right now. And what they announced today, we need to pull up. Let's just do it. That's the tweet. Okay, I'm going to duplicate that because I do want to talk about the Pentoshi tweet. I think it was pretty much where I'm at right now. But let's go.
Yeah, it was a big ass ecosystem fund.
$400 million. Now, we kind of knew that they were going to announce one because they pretty much came out and said it last week, but we didn't know how much. And it's not there. It's up here. Where is it? No. Yeah, there it is. $400 million ecosystem fund. That's $225 for ecosystem fund. That's $175 for an accelerator pool. These guys aren't fucking around. Alameda Coin Fund, Hashkey, Defiance Capital, they all just up their ante on Secret Network. And I've got the ecosystem pulled up here because then the question is like, okay, are we having a big rotation into Secret? Is that the next, near Luna, what the fuck, Phantom right now, right? Everyone in the trading pit right now in our Discord is like, what's the next rotation? Is it secret? Yeah. Typically, it was the ecosystem fund. Now, the only thing that bugs me as a trader is that we've just rallied now for a month, right? From December 16th, 19th, whatever, down here, all the way up to now. So 1 month, we've been going basically straight up. We are up, 80, 100, 108%. So is it sell the news? Was this insider buying? Was it oh yeah, we're going to have an ecosystem fund next month, tell your buddies, and that's what rallied us into it. And now those guys are out of the trade and we're in the short reload zone. It's tough, but look at it another way. I think I did a chart on here the other day, earlier today. Nope. Where is it? Okay. Basically though, no, that was a different chart altogether. Anyways. Oh, that was GMX. Never mind. Yeah, I mean, get me to new highs and any retest to this level, which we should get if we break this level. It's just too big a level to never come and visit again. That's like a fresh long for me. I'd love to add. Bing, like something like that. Right here, right now, up against this level, after that announcement, I'm not touching it. I would have to buy here or here. I can't buy this kind of resistance post-announcement. Because look at their ecosystem. I mean, I love Secret, but it's not big. It's very early, and that's why they have this fund. Sienna Swap is one I've talked about before. I think Sienna is like, it's kind of, I guess you could say, potentially in that Uniswap conversation. What is it? I'm going to go here. I'll go wrapped Sienna. Yeah. So Sienna's one that I'm invested in that I've talked about quite a bit for a while. It had a really good run. I'm LPing on there for months now. It's at a level. It's at a level that I like. This was like, oh, look, I'm a big part of Secret. Secret broke out. Sienna went crazy. LPs diluted it. They're getting paid in Sienna. It's at a level. What else we got? Shade Protocols coming up. They just closed a round. I tried to invest in that. It ended up getting filled up, so we didn't get into that one, unfortunately. There's a few others here. I couldn't tell you. Fardal's, Alter, Stash. Look into these. But this is their ecosystem. You can find it right on their website if you just go through here. So, yeah, hey. I'm pumped for Secret. And $400 million is about to just...
That's it. I mean, the ecosystem's doing a lot better today than it was yesterday.
Hell yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean...
And that's building too, right? When you see the accelerator, it's like... There's probably new things that are just now going to start building there. So it's not the kind of trade where I look at it and say, oh, I need to buy today because tomorrow I'll have a big green candle. Look, the information's out there now. It's not like, oh, surprise, there's a fucking ecosystem fund. Like, it's there now. So don't expect the news of that to drive your price up. If anything, I expect to see some chop here, maybe a pullback, shake out those news buyers. And then we can get into this, and then we can talk about who's building there. We can have a Phantom, AVAX, Luna type, full-blown rally. But I'm not rushing in for more today. You guys know I was picking it up here and added a little here, but I'm not. Today's not my buy day. I'm really fucking pumped about Secret, though. Like on the 3 to 5 year scale, I love it.
Yeah. We got someone asking about Arweave. Arweave it's one of my favorites. I hold it. I bought more this last week because it's illiquid and you can't, it just can run on you. And I didn't want to chase it. I kind of let some bids get hit.
Good call, because it's looking Emmy.
Yeah. I mean,
just not a chaser. That's all.
Yeah. No, I'm not chasing it, but I also know that like the NFT stuff is not dying. It's growing. There is so much fucking private money coming into funding stuff, to Metaplex, to all these things, that the NFT game is not done by any stretch. The need for this decentralized, immutable storage service. I know that, almost every Solana mint, a lot of them use Arweave. I know people are talking about Arweave here at these hacker houses. Like, I just, I don't know. I think basically it's a long-term play for me. So when it gets close to these support type areas, I've got bids in there.
Yeah,
so,
I like this level. I mean, it's support. It's getting beat up a bit, but there's not a lot of sellers, right? The selling is declining this entire move down.
There's no sellers here. This is literally the market makers are marking it down because the algos, because Bitcoin's going down. It's the same shit.
It's boredom.
I mean, that means
never short a dull market.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I like it. I actually don't hold any Arweave. I picked some up in the thing, sold them here, but I'd like to maybe get some. This is probably an idea where it's like nobody's talking about it. It's quiet. It's boring. Fundamentally, nothing's changed. It's strong. Like, fucking
you
make
still have
a position.
You still have a KuCoin account?
I do.
Yeah.
Is it on KuCoin?
Yeah.
'Cause I'm off Binance now.
Yeah, it's not too liquid on there. But that's there's not many locations with Arweave spot market. So KuCoin is one of them.
Okay, that's a good point.
Yeah.
There's another one on KuCoin I had to pick up. Litentry. It's like an ID play. I was like, fuck, if I'm so bullish on ID, I better just buy all the ID plays. So LIT was one somebody mentioned in my ID tweet. Anyways. DUSK looks toppy. I'm a fan of Privacy L1. Somebody just mentioned that they said Privacy L1 was ZK Tech. Yep. I like it. I like the narrative. I'm not going to buy here. It is above the moving averages and they are bullish. It's right. There's a trend trade there, but given the market is like boring and shitty, like, look, we're looking through the charts today. We're finding things like Badger all the way down in its range at the 88.6. We're seeing Arweave just now back down at its reload zone in the local 88.6. There are really good deals to have right now. And the market is not the kind of market where I want to pay a premium for anything. Now, DUSK has had an outstanding 2 months. I mean, this was like started December and everything was kind of looking shitty. Down into the 13th, and I remember DUSK was running. I was like, what the fuck is DUSK doing? It's not the deal right now. I want to find the thing that's just been getting rinsed for the last month and a half that is also something I like. I like DUSK. Yeah. When you tell me it's a Privacy L1 with ZK Tech, I say, cool, that sounds dope. I'd love to buy that. I'm going to buy it when it's really shitty, like really shitty. Right now, it's kind of like cooling off a bit after a big counter trend rally. So those are my thoughts on DUSK. But thank you for bringing that to our attention. ALCX, yeah. I did notice some smart wallet. One of my analysts shared today that Nansen's tracking smart wallets. It was number 2 on the smart wallet accumulation. It wasn't very much, but it was being accumulated. Now, I don't know about that chart. I'll tell you what I liked, though. I actually sold some this week because I gave up on it because like pain, I gave up on it in the reload zone, which is not usually where I do that, but I went and picked up more GLP. GLP is just, it's paying 100% to sit and hold it. So,
and that's something that I would step in and buy there.
I know. Well, this is my zone, right? It's like, hey, we're at the lows. We're a big piece of shit. Look at that. Buy volume.
Catch some knives.
Yeah, this is exactly where you catch knives.
Who's selling that? There's no fucking sell volume. It's like,
yeah. That's the thing, right? So pay attention because we hit the lows. There was no selling. Like the sellers disappeared down here. And then massive buyers showed up. Then they released a really cool commercial, which I think I retweeted. We should probably watch it. It's kind of cool. But it's basically like abracadabra. It's this idea of like self-repaying loans, right? Put your money in. It's going to be like a yield-bearing asset, and it'll just pay itself off while you go play with your credit card debt. Like whatever. It's a really catchy commercial. And that's their V2 coming up. So yeah, you got big buys coming into the lows, break out, get into this reload zone. This is where you should go long. That's where I should go long. But I sold some here the other day because I just decided I'm not paying attention to it, and I just stormed into the GLP at 100% because at least it's like easy to manage. And if this thing comes in here and just like W's out, I'm getting in. I'm going to get back in. It's on my list, but I did weirdly enough sell it like right at the zone where I should buy it. But that's markets. But in the meantime, because it could come in here and chill for like 3 weeks, and I'm getting paid 100% of my position every day, like annual, but you know.
Yeah.
So I'm obsessed with GLP right now, even though it's not airtight. I found out today that, well, we should talk about it then. I found out today on GLP that there's 3 things that affect the price of GLP. Well, I'm going to pull them up because just explaining to it.
Buyers, sellers, and...
No, there's 3
price.
things. Let me get, okay, I'm just trying to make sure I'm not showing my wallet. There it is. Okay. So there's 3 things that affect the price of GLP, which you can find here. GLP price comparison, you pull it up here and it's, GLP price is in the green here. I'm trying to point to it, but it keeps moving. But yeah, so that's the price of GLP. Okay. Now it is affected by a few different things. I'm going to read what somebody wrote to me today so I don't mess it up. But basically it's not what I thought, not only what I thought. God, I better find his comment quick. He was in one of my chats. Where is it? Okay, I can probably remember it. Oh, where is it? Nope. Okay. There's 3 forces that affect GLP price. Combined net trades, so P&L. And what's happening this week is there's been some winners. It was different earlier. It was big fat green candles. Anyways, there's been some winners. So if you take a lot of money from the exchange, if you make a lot of money, you're actually somewhat draining the GLP. So price will drop. Now it's down to 112, down to 111, 110. So that's what I didn't understand. What I did understand was that the prices of the assets in the GLP going up and down, because what GLP is, it's LP, so it's a liquidity position for GMX, GLP. It's AVAX, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and USDC MIM. So it's like a quad crypto LP. Essentially, it's 3 different assets plus stable coins. And so, yeah, if Bitcoin price goes up, ETH price goes up, AVAX price goes up, the price of GLP goes up and down and vice versa. And that's all I thought it was. But there's also trading fees. So there's a ton of trading fees. The price will go up because those fees get paid to GLP stakers. But then also, if there's a lot of people at the exchange winning, the price goes down because they're essentially draining the LP of all of its money. Now, the reason that that's not such a big deal long term is that, like a sports book, you can expect the P&L for traders to basically wash out to a zero, like a net zero, right? Net P&L. And that's where exchanges can come in, market makers can come in. They can basically make money on that spread because eventually, half the action will end up on each side, and funding rates kind of drive that a bit. So anyways, it's been dropping this week. Apparently, Messi was telling me earlier, actually, there's some guy who's just crushing these like 200K P&L shorts right now. And we're kind of like, oh, the guy's going to get rinsed eventually when it moves back up. But for now. But in the meantime, I'm getting paid 100% in AVAX and in Hxro GMX. So basically getting paid in GMX, which, by the way, is like mooning this month. So it feels good. And this is what I think about GMX. Coming out, breaking out, retesting, going. And if it goes, this whole consolidation kicks out a nice fat chaos.
Wow.
So I'm bullish on GLP. I'm getting paid in this token and AVAX. And unfortunately, AVAX does look a little like shit. But, versus Bitcoin, I think AVAX looks poopy. And actually versus USD, it doesn't look too great either. But point is, like, I can farm that. I can sell those each day, whatever. But it's paying 100% yield, which is hard to get on something that is kind of like a long Bitcoin and ETH index, right? So I like it. So
nice. Hey, if you're watching, you like what you're hearing, smash that like button. We love being here for you guys.
Yeah, I'm really glad you've been able to make it. Look, guys, big shout out to Rob because he is like in the middle of a hacker house right now. He's surrounded by guys. They're doing big work. But he sneaks off to the side room. He gets his laptop out. He says, DeltaFi time, baby. Messi couldn't make it today. Dan is obviously front and center at that hacker house. Somebody had to do it. So thank you, Rob, for making it today because I'm fired up. We had a really good episode. If you guys didn't catch it today on Frog Radio, it'll be on our YouTube, the Frog Radio YouTube. Like Andre come on. He talked about V33 with Danny. I finally understand it, I think, a little bit. I'm not going to try to reiterate it here. Just go watch, go listen. But I need to re-listen because I get distracted while I'm hosting that shit. But it's cool. And he talked about Solid. Danny dropped the name of their new token as Rock. It's going to be over on Phantom. Is it going to be multi-chain? Is there a way to get it? It's crazy. It's a whole other conversation. It's a little off topic, but so I'm fired up today, and I'm just really glad you could be here.
Hey, it's my pleasure. I love it. All right, we got a couple more people are looking for PENDLE. I've seen that a couple times.
I've never seen it. I've heard of it. Let's fire off a few here, and then I know you've got to go. I've got a hungry baby downstairs. I can hear him. So, let's do a few here, and then we'll go, do what we got to do. We're going to do some adulting. Yeah. Oh, PENDLE looks dreadful. I mean, the volume picking up at the lows is what you want to see. So that's pretty good. That started back in July, though. So it's like, when are you going to...
Someone's getting in there and buying it, though. Like, look at they're
recently,
buying it.
Yeah.
And then it comes down, and then they'll buy it again. I mean, it looks like it's an area that you'll probably see another big buyer coming in.
I always say that, right? You want to get long where smart money's getting long. All right, I want to be long. I want the market to move up. Well, who's going to protect my position? I can't do it. I don't have the money to do it. People sell into my position. I'm not buying it. Get long where the billionaires, the millionaires getting long. And you see them on the chart when you see volume like this. I'm not saying that they're the ones that did this, but there's probably news there. But it's this kind of like, where is this volume coming in? And the way to spot all that is with these crazy ink that we put on the chart, support levels.
Yep.
Yeah, well, we just draw below that support and then we blast it through on volume. So that's actually pretty good because if there was sellers left in this market, they had every opportunity to show up here. But did they show up? No, they did not show up at all. And then the big buy volume. So I'm actually with you, Rob. I think sliding into this level is like maximum risk reward to the upside, because if you're wrong, okay, you're wrong small. But if you're right infinitely large. Who knows how I don't know the market cap, but you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's kind of where you want to be long on stuff. So
yeah,
not a bad look. Who brought up PENDLE? Thank you,
Cryptoholic.
Yeah, appreciate that. I love a good idea, and it's 32 mil cap. It's on the lower side, fully diluted 78, sub 100. So, not something I would risk huge on. I don't know. I've heard good things about it, weirdly, but
how about
put a little punt in there, maybe?
Yeah, another kind of GMX comp, DYDX. We've seen a few recommendations or requests for chart on DYDX.
I was talking about this one today because somebody mentioned that part of their next phase that they were going to actually do a fee share. And I said, when is that? When can I expect that there's a fee share narrative? Because what I see when I look at this chart is opportunity because, it's like low in the range. Get a candle body type trend line, and we're overside. We're over the trend line, but we haven't made a W yet. Now, if we break up from here, if we break above, what is that now? $7.95. If we close a daily above $8, then we have bullish market structure on the other side of a very long-term downtrend. Well, very long-term in crypto terms, basically from September of last year, so not that long. But, a long-term trend line, high time frame trend line, whatever. If we break that, we're back into a bull trend. And if they have fee sharing coming up, then that could be the thing that drives. And so you say, okay, we're going to get that confirmation. We're going to let it play out. Going to get that reload zone. Going to load up here. That's kind of how I would trade this. And I actually was thinking about trading this because somebody brought it up this morning. But I'd love to know more about this phase, 4 potential fee share. I think they've been very vague about it, specifics. And if that is going to be a thing, and if we do ever get a date on that, trust me, there's a very good trade there. And when I say good trade, it doesn't mean a winning trade. It just means a good time to maybe lose a trade. And that is regarding sell the news. Buy it when the fee share starts, sell it.
What are the I see you, Oblivion 26. We'll hit you with Fuse. I don't know Fuse, but we'll hit you. I
heard that name like 6 times this week.
Yeah, we'll hit you with it. But what are the metrics on DYDX? The market cap, because I don't think this thing is done. I don't think we've seen I don't think it's straight down only for this thing.
No, dude. I mean, for what it's worth, I think this is what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
I mean, I drew it that way sometimes just for illustrative points, but I actually think it is ready to do an uptrend. I'm going to wait because that's how I trade. But yeah, look at it. It's 520 circulating, 7 billion fully diluted. Okay, so a little steep. It's not even. It's like 7.5% circulating out of max. So that's actually a little uncomfortable. But like I said, for me, it's like, hey, we're gonna do a fee share. Cool, buy it. Fee share goes live, probably sell for me.
Yeah.
Because
fee share is powerful.
Fee share is a powerful narrative, but if it goes up 3x, if it goes up 2x, 3x, I'm going to hold on because I get a fee share slow trickle. No, I'm going to sell as a trade. But yeah, I think a buy the rumor, sell the news on the fee share could be the trade for this quarter, next quarter, whatever. I don't know when that's coming in, but I love that. And if irrelevant to all that, just based on TA, if we go above $8, there is a trade cooking. And even just within range here, let's just say we get the perfect setup, just like I drew it up, and it goes here, and we stop loss at the lows, and we run it to the most chintzy part of there. It's still an 8-to-1. That's just an 8-to-1 up to the range here, back up to basically like this kind of resistance. So, yeah, I love this. I'm going to keep a close eye on DYDX. Can I put it on my pink list? You've inspired me to get my watch list going again.
Yeah.
It's on Binance. Nice. There you go. So I'm going to keep an eye on this.
The pink or the stink?
Is it on the pink list or the stink list? Yeah, no, it's going on the pink list. Look, this is how I was charting before. I was way off.
Yeah.
And it may just be the case where it now just needs to come in and just be boring as fuck for whatever, a little bit, right? Crab it up. It doesn't always have to be like down and then up, but it could. But it's either crab or into the fee share and then back to crab. Has anyone traded on it? I don't know. Messi said he traded on GMX today, and it was, or not today, but I asked him today, and he said he traded on it, and he said it was very smooth. I'm curious what DYDX is like, because I want like an on-chain perp. I feel like I'm going to get kicked off of everything in the world because Canada's doing its best to be the U.S. right now with regards to regulations.
Oh, dude, you'll be trading the Hxro Network perp.
Hell yeah!
Perp.
Tell us about Hxro Network. We're here. We're ready to listen. Just give us something.
Give me something. We're gonna have. We're gonna have an alpha of the futures on mainnet. I mean, we're pushing super hard for February. Feeling really, really good about it. So keep your eyes and ears open. We got staking that is cooking on DevNet, so that's gonna be.
When you say futures, tell me about futures. What does that mean?
Yeah, I'm talking about futures, baby. Perp futures and expiring futures.
Ooh, on Solana.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to be like the DYDX. Maybe better.
I would. I do. Listen, I respect DYDX. I think that they are builders. They're shippers. They've got a great product. I think we're going to have a phenomenal product. I love their $7 billion fully diluted. Bless their hearts. That's good stuff. So I'm really excited about our product. We are trying to build real liquidity. We've got some of the most top tier partners in our network and liquidity providers and everyone's excited. We're all building it. So it's coming soon.
Okay.
We're
fucking love soon.
Solana, it's taken a long time to really get our developers and the developer team to get fully proficient and efficient programming on Solana. It's not easy, but the Solana Labs office here in Chicago, they're running these hacker houses, they're running these boot camps. They are doing everything they can to help developers learn the system and build.
That's what Hacker House is, right? It's a bunch of developers getting together to just teach, talk, network, and all that. Is that what that is?
Yep. Okay. It is. It is. They do a ton of helpful stuff, get people together, help them ship, help them build, look at code, talk about code, everything. It's great. So we're super excited. Keep your eyes and ears out for staking of Hxro soon, and yeah,
that's I got a little bag. I might stake it. We'll see how I feel that day. No, I'm just kidding.
We're fired up.
Look, this is why I've got this on the screen. Everyone's like, why the hell you got this bearish tweet from Pentoshi? But I retweeted this the other day because I was lazy, and it's like, this is basically what I want to say right now. It's like the other reason I'm not sharing alt setups is because, frankly, the market conditions are piss poor right now. They just are. We're in a place where we're following the NASDAQ. It's post 2-year bull market. It's into this potentially, people's minds, 2-year bear market. I don't think it will be, but it'll certainly be different than the last 2-year bear market. But does it play out for 2 months? Does it play out for 6 months? Is it just a shitty crab, hot ball of money? I don't know. What I do know is the easy mode is essentially gone for now. And so you also don't see me calling bottoms every day. Disease many have. I like that comment. Honestly believe when it's time to go, you'll know it. Yeah, I just feel this tweet deeply. And rather than retweet it out like in some other version, like my own tweet, like I just like, oh, fuck it, retweet this, move on with my day. But this is it. Right now, it's just all low time frame ops. High time frame will turn in times. And the way I see it is like, now you got to be very selective. So is DYDX about to start getting serious about fee sharing? And is this the bottom? Then that might be a midterm. He says short-term frame. My thing is like, maybe it's like a 2 to 3 month trade on this coin. Secret just announced their ecosystem fund. So is that now a trade for a couple of months where we can expect to see some juice over in that ecosystem? This is the DYDX. The other one that, as you guys know, I've been talking about today is Badger, right? Badger hinting about this Citadel thing in their Discord, and he's building up some hype there. Bitcoin dominance coming back into flavor. The best Bitcoin yield you can get on chain is on Badger. Is this going to be a run for a shorter time frame trade, right? I got to be very selective right now. Rob, in a very different way, spotting things like Theta being green on a red day. Nice volume coming in. In fact, the nicest volume that they've enjoyed since, all the way back here. Basically, you haven't seen volume this high since back in friggin' August of 2020, back down here. What is that all about, right? Might be something cooking for Theta. Maybe next week in the news you see something and this was the insider's buy. You've got to be selective. That's how I feel. So that's why I pulled this tweet up, because I'm with that. And I don't want to sit long and strong every single asset because someday it'll go up, because I've sat through a bear market where someday shit will go up. But Ethereum to 1300 in 2017 down to $80. I don't care if it went to 4,000. I rode that shit to $80. It was not worth it, right? I want to get out. That's why I learned how to trade. I want to get out, and then when it's back to $80 and it's looking bullish, I'll get back in. So there's my rant for today. I think that's going to be me for today on the rant tip. Did you have anything, final thoughts, a couple ideas?
No, I think it's a tough market right now. It's a tough time that, it's difficult to be, if you're trading this crypto stuff actively, it's a difficult time to be near your all-time personal highs. There are some that are, saying, oh, I'm all-time highs today, whatever.
Usually hear from the guys who are at their highs, though.
Yeah. So just be patient. The crypto, the funds that are coming into this space right now are big, and they are looking for allocations to stuff in the private markets. So, the bottom line is that there is not a vibe among like big money that this movement in crypto and this network value that's been created is going to stop anytime soon. Doesn't mean that if the US equity markets continue to trade lower, that like Bitcoin and then all the market making algos are just going to push shit lower on small, on relatively little volume. So I don't know. I think it's a time to be just be cognizant. Don't let the emotions get the best of you, and take some smart plays. You know, there's
Look
smart plays out there. Yeah.
You called it. And I said, there's a big breakdown. He said, maybe it's just going to do the thing it did back here.
Yeah.
Look, bing.
Yeah.
Sorry, your final thoughts. I cut you off on the most important part. People are going to hit me up in DMs and be like, shut the fuck up, RT.
No, it's all good. I just think there are good plays. We looked at some plays out there. Look for some high probability plays where where you can cut your loss and get out, but give yourself some high probability plays, because there's a lot of stuff that it's sitting at a level that you probably would have died to buy 2 months ago, like literally. Yeah. So
CRV not as much.
Yeah, I don't know.
Curve's getting in there. It's certainly, it's getting better, but it's not at some gross, bear market 88.6. There's coins right now sitting at their 88.6s. They're already done the bear market. That's where the bear market ended for Bitcoin, for ETH. Yeah. There's some alts already down there. And then they're showing signs of reversal. I'm going to keep picking on Badger because it's already down there. And now it's breaking out in volume. Like, hop all the money, find me the narrative, cycles. Curve looks like it needs to cool down. And here's the thing that makes me nervous about Curve. As we wrap up, I'm going to maybe I'll finish on Curve, but it's getting copied now, right? The convex of convex is going to be, whatever the one that, should have had the name of that in my head, but there's something that came up the other day. Somebody's like, it's going to be the convex of convex. So convex is to Curve, locking up all those votes. One convex is like 8 or 9 Curve votes right now. That's what Andre was saying on the podcast today. And now there's like, convex has won the Curve wars. Curve wars are done now. Convex has just won. They control Curve. They've got all the votes. People are fighting over convex now to control Curve. But then there's got to be some way to lock up some of that convex to control that now. And that's like the convex of convex. So I don't know. This shit's heating up. Now it's like, the Curve and convex of Phantom, the Curve of this. So does this get diluted? Does it turn into Ohm? Rest in peace, right? Ohm got forked to death. Didn't really innovate. Didn't do anything new. All the Ohm forks started doing flashy, cool new things. Hey, look, a shiny new toy. Well, it broke the lows and it's now below. It's in negative price discovery. I obviously was here thinking like, maybe I'll get some. Nope, just died. So does that happen to Curve here? Is it going to get diluted sideways to death as people just come in? I don't know, but I'm less confident about loading more Curve here versus like some of these other names we talked about today. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. I hear you.
But hey, you better be staking it. I know you bought some Curve the other day. What are you doing with that? Are you staking? Are you kind of like long Mr. Perps, or are you CVX CRV stake on convex? Like, what do you do with your DeFi stuff?
I stake. A lot of it. Yeah.
Because it does pay well. I mean, if you can just sit and not worry about the principal and say, look, in a year or two, it's going to go up. I'm getting paid to hold it in the meantime. Take the swings. Just don't look at the balance, because sometimes like I'm up, a couple thousand in yield over a month, but I'm down like 20,000 in the friggin' principal, and I'm like, what's the point?
Yeah.
The point is, fucking hold on and get paid to hold on, and hopefully it hits $10 one day, and then you're laughing.
Exactly.
So just size it so that you don't care if it does do one of these.
Yep.
Because it might do one of those, and if I'm going to sell down here, I might as well just get it over with now and figure it out. So that's how I feel here. I'm just so bullish on GLP right now because of what it's paying me daily that I'm just like, I keep like, I want to sell this bag. I'll just buy more GLP. And I just pray that, pray that the price of GLP doesn't go below $1, because these cents, it was like 116. I bought some. I went to like 112. I was like, okay. 110. I'm like, it's like a 7% drawdown. It's an index. I just, hopefully it doesn't go too much below $1. We'll see. But getting paid 147% today. So
bless your heart.
We'll see. That's the one I like the most, as I've already made abundantly clear, I think. Let's switch over to the studio. You've got to get back to the Hacker House. What are you looking forward to today?
Yeah.
You're going to go see Dan? Is he in the house?
It's been a long day. No, we've got a big day tomorrow. today. I don't know what's going on. It's been a long week last week, long week so far this week, and getting home late, getting here early. It feels really, really good to see the amount of top-notch talent building on Solana. I mean, it's pretty incredible. So just trying to, stay focused, keep the eye on the prize, which is long-term network growth, which it's happening here. I can tell you that. So it's been good.
Good. I'm sorry, I'm typing to Kevin in the chat. He asked me about the GLP. I was like, well, I thought I had read it, but apparently not. But either way, I'm basically just compounding the escrowed GMX, dude. And I'm not worried about when it comes out, and then I get paid more in AVAX. And actually, because AVAX is in a bearish kind of looking chart right now, I'm just selling it as I get it once a week or so. And we'll see. But yeah, I'm not 100% convinced in my GLP position. Like, fuck no. I think it could drop to 80 cents per GLP, and that would suck. I just have to hope that index, Bitcoin, ETH, AVAX, will eventually be higher. And all the time through the dip, I get paid 100%, like a little bit of weekly income. And it's a long, punty bet, but I'm making it. So we'll see. But I appreciate your thoughts, Kevin. Can't you not claim the escrow rewards for a year from the point you got the reward? I don't know. I should try to claim some. I'm compounding them. So half the APY I get. Okay, yeah, great position if you want to last a while. Yeah. Okay, Echo just asked a good question. Guys, we've got to wrap it up. Rob, you've had a long week. I've had a long day. We're going to go spend some time with the family, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. If you're here and you like what we're doing, hit the like. Let us know. Steven says, don't call it a bet. Okay. Well, I'm making the position. I'm making the wow, what do you call it if not a bet? I don't know. Anyways, guys.
No, I mean that's something that we would always say in the pit. I mean, some guy made a big bet on, corn going higher. That's kind of just locker room talk.
Don't get it twisted, guys. The stock market is the biggest casino on the fucking planet. That's all it is. It's people making bets. The reason I like it, as somebody who used to make bets, who used to be a sports, I don't want to say bookmaker, but handicapper. I used to write a forum and basically make picks and people would follow. Is that it's always 50-50. And the line that Vegas ended up with was always just a representation of the crowd. It was very, very hard to beat. In this market, there's a way more edge. There's a way more edge you can find. So, yeah, I still feel like I'm making bets. I'm just making them at 3 and 4 and 5 to 1 when they're actually more like 2 to 1, and you capture that edge. Anyways, long story short, I've had a good beer. I've stretched this beer out the entire stream. Rob Levy, this one's for you. So best of luck to you getting home tonight to see the fam, and look forward to seeing you guys next week. I will be back on Friday for Hero Labs Live solo. Possibly Rob Levy's talking about teasing the idea of coming in to hang one day, so maybe we'll see him. Yeah, but no pressure.
No, I'd love to. I mean, now if the people don't hate the the background, the fact that I'm not in front of my green screen, I'd love to join whenever I can. So.
Sweet, dude. All right. Anytime, man. We'll dial you in. All right. Take care, guys. And whatever you do from now until next time, please, for God's sakes, man, always play from a position of strength. Take care.